Hi guys, I am Glenn, also known as Mr. Crafty Man. For those of you who are just joining the channel, I want to recommend that you go back through my videos. You're going to see a video that's an hour and 4 minutes long, and in that video I'm wearing a shirt that says Patriot across the front of it. It's very important to watch that video, take notes, pay attention to it, and it'll keep you from being lost in the channel and in the Facebook groups. So it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. My wife and I took a vacation. We went to South Dakota, to Deadwood and to Custer. We rode the motorcycle around in the Black Hills. We went to Mount Rushmore, I think about 3 times, Crazy Horse, Devil's Tower, and the Badlands. We had a really good time. And then we went to Vernal to visit my cousin and up to Idaho to visit my 96-year-old grandpa. So what I'm going to do in this video is going to be answering questions that I have been getting from people in the Facebook group and people who have been asking questions like in the videos. So one of the questions that I got, I believe it was last week, someone was asking about alkalinity and acidic values of food and how does that work. Well, if you ordered the Stopping Kidney Disease Food Guide, in the back of it you're going to see a couple charts. One is an acidic chart and the other one is an alkaline chart. Now, like tofu, for example, and before I get into this I want to mention something. So the kidney disease thrives in an acidic system, so we want to keep our bodies from being acidic and more alkaline. And before somebody thinks of it, no, it's not as simple as going to Walmart and buying the alkaline water. That basically does nothing for you. So I'm going to give you an example here. So tofu is 7.5 pH, and tofu is acidic. So what we want to do is we want to find foods on the charts that are alkaline and that have a higher alkalinity level than tofu's acidic level. So when you look on the page that has the acidic values and you want to eat one of those foods, then go over to the other page that has the alkaline values and find something that has a higher alkaline value than the acidic value of whatever food you're going to eat, in our case tofu. And then if you find something with a higher alkalinity value, that will cancel it out, the acidic value. So tofu has a reasonably high acidic value, so we go over to the alkalinity chart and we see that paprika and parsley, which seems like they would go really good on some tofu that was fried in extra virgin olive oil, those have much higher alkaline levels than the acidic value of tofu. So if you put the parsley and the paprika into the tofu, it's going to cancel out the acidic value. I hope you can understand how that works. And you can find the charts in that book, or you can find them on the internet. And something else that one of the members in the Facebook group, for those of you just joining, you can find my Facebook group just by searching Mr. Crafty Man Beat, and you'll see it pop up. There's over 2,200 people there, but one of the members of the group, I don't know if you can see this, created this chart, and this chart is used for tracking your foods. your breakfast, your lunch, your snacks, your dinner, your calories, your protein, potassium. I mean, anything that you need to track, this sheet will help you track. You can go to the group and download that. And I will also have a link to the Facebook group in the description of this video. Another question that I received within the past couple weeks is, how much phosphates can we eat with chronic kidney disease? Now, a misconception is if you have chronic kidney disease, you shouldn't be eating any phosphates, you shouldn't be eating any potassium, and that's not true. Your body needs these things. So you're not cutting them out altogether, you're limiting them. So as far as phosphates, we should have no more than 800 milligrams of phosphates per day. Another question I get is, how much potassium? So you're going to see two different things. You're going to kind of the common answer is 3,000 milligrams or less of potassium per day. You're also going to see 2,400. I tend to stick with about 3,000 milligrams of potassium per day. Now, here's a question that I just saw this week in my Facebook group, and anybody in that Facebook group who is asking this question did not watch my video, and if they did, they didn't pay attention to it. And that was, well, how much protein should we be eating? So if you go back and you watch that 1:04 long video, it explains that, and it explains the mathematical process for calculating your protein, and I believe I also made a video that just concentrates on calculating your protein. But I will cover that again. I'll mention this to you. So what you do is you want to find out what your target weight is. So I'm going to make this really easy. I'm going to show you using Google how we can find out what our target weight should be. So let's just say that I'm 250 pounds, which I'm not, and I want to get to a healthy weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Google, how much should a 5'9" man weigh?
Here is information from Medical News Today.
So Google is telling me that I should weigh on the low end 128 pounds, on the high end 162. So when I calculated this, when I was starting, like, developing my plan, I wanted to be 152 or 155 pounds. So I chose 155 pounds. So what we're going to do is we would write down 155 pounds. Then we need to find out how many kilograms that is. So we'll ask Google again. How many kilograms is 155 pounds?
155 pounds is 70.307 kilograms.
Okay, so 155 pounds is roughly 70 kilograms. So then what we're going to do is we go to our calculator and we go 70, and we're going to multiply that by 0.6. And that comes out to 42. So what we did is we just calculated our daily protein. So we're going to be eating 42 grams of protein per day. And people are going to say, well, my doctor told me this much. Well, my dietitian told me this much. I'm not going to tell you not to follow what they're telling you, but I would venture to say, or I would challenge you to show me a doctor, a nephrologist, a renal dietitian who has rid themselves of kidney disease or even improved someone's kidney disease. I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find one, period. So basically this is up to you. You are your best advocate. You are the one that's going to heal yourself. What you're going to be hearing at the doctors, especially the nephrologist, is come back in 3 months and we'll test you again. Come back in 3 months and we'll test you again. Come back in 3 months and we'll test you again. And finally, what you're going to hear from them is, we need to get you started on dialysis. And a nephrologist seems like the most worthless doctor in the world to me. It just makes absolutely no sense why they even exist. So what our objective is to heal ourselves, improve our kidneys, and at the very least, prevent ourselves from going on dialysis. Now, when I started out, and you'll see this if you watch the video, my EGFR was 25. And I have gotten my GFR all the way up to 78. So I don't want to hear that it can't be done. It can be done. And in the Facebook group, there are hundreds of people doing the same thing that I did, using the same process that I've used. So yes, it can be done if you've got the motivation and the drive to do it. So we came up with that 42 grams of protein per day, and what we're going to do is we're going to divide that in half. Half of that is going to be eaten in Albutrix, and no, before someone says it, Albutrix is not a supplement. Albutrix is a medical food. Is it cheap? No, it's not really cheap. Is it expensive? Well, that depends on you. That's kind of subjective. But the way I think of it is, when you look at your grocery bill, like what you spend on yourself for groceries every month, the cost of the Albutrix, divide your grocery bill in half, what you eat per month. The cost of the Albutrix is probably going to be less than that, and Albutrix is going to be taking the place of half of your food. So no, it's not so bad. And also, if it comes to saving your life or not taking the Albutrix, I'll spend the money on the Albutrix. The other half of the other 21 grams is going to be eaten in plant-based foods. So 21 grams in Albutrix, 21 grams in plant-based foods. Each Albutrix tablet has 5 grams of protein in it. Okay. So, and something that's sticking in my head right now is in my Facebook kidney group, we have people in there that are complaining about the cost of Albutrix. If I owned Albutrix, if it was my company, and if I was financially able to do so, I would have it for $20 a bottle. But I don't own the company. It's just a product that I used in my recovery. It worked fantastically. And I spent the money on it. Now, something that just bugs me is in life, the things which we should be caring about the most, or the things that we do care about the most. What do we care about the most? We care about our children the most, and we care about ourselves the most and our families. Well, what are the things that we're willing to spend the least amount of money on? Well, our children. You want to go out and find a babysitter for $1.50 an hour. Somebody that's $5 an hour or $7 an hour is just too expensive. So even though we care about them, we don't want to spend the money on it. And our health, we care about our health, but we just don't want to spend the money on it until it's too late. So that's just something that drives me nuts. Sorry I got off course there. Another question that I get is, do I eat fruit? I've gotten this one quite a few times the past month, and yes, I do eat fruit. And I've told people that. Then they're, well, what fruits do you eat? So the fruits that I eat are strawberries, watermelon, raspberries, peaches, cantaloupe, blueberries, and honeydew melon. These are the fruits that have the least amount of sugar in them. So if you are a diabetic, then you need to be concerned about how much sugar is in fruits. And I am a diabetic, and even though my A1C is now 5.2 and doctors are telling me you don't have diabetes anymore, I still treat myself as if I do have diabetes. I still monitor my blood sugar regularly. I've got my little patch on my arm that I'm always wearing. I know how exercise affects my blood sugar. I know how different foods affect my blood sugar, and I'm very careful. So something that I have been noticing is, and this is not just in the Facebook group, what I see in the Facebook group is, I mean, there's over 2,002 people in that Facebook group, and it's a very positive Facebook group. We actually don't allow any negativity in it. If we see negativity in it, myself and the moderators will delete the source of that negativity. We also don't allow outside link posting and ad posting and this sort of thing. So basically we've kept the scammers out, and it kind of keeps that from happening. Some people have asked me, well, why did I get booted out of the group? Well, with the Facebook rules in the group, it does talk about in the rules, and you agree to them when you join, that there's no link posting. So Facebook, the Facebook group is looking for links that get posted, and it'll automatically delete the link and ban you from the group. So don't do it. So I notice in the group there's a lot of people, they come in, they're gung-ho in the beginning. They want to get started on the plan. A lot of them, as soon as they see the cost of the Albutrix, which I don't think is extremely high. It's 100 and something for a bottle of it, and that bottle was lasting me 45 days. So that was not like unreasonable to me. They'll say, well, I can't afford that right now. That's fine if you can't afford it. A question that gets asked in the group is, well, can I still improve if I'm not taking the Albutrix? Yes, you can. You can improve, but you're not going to see the same improvements that you'll see if you are taking the Albutrix. We've got people in the group who have came in and they've said, well, I improved and I'm not taking the Albutrix. So you look at their numbers and they're improving about 50% as much as somebody that is taking the Albutrix and is following the plan 100%. So there's a lot of reasons. I mean, there's also people that come in, well, I mean, you lost me at no meat. Well, you lost me at this. You lost me at this. If a hamburger is, a McDonald's hamburger is more valuable to you than your own life and being with your family, you probably shouldn't be in the group. So there's a lot of reasons that people kind of fall off the plan. They go on vacation and get weak or something like that, and have a burger, and next thing you know, one burger turns into two burgers and tacos and all this kind of thing. I don't know. What I typically do when I go on vacation is my wife will either bring coolers of food that I typically eat, or we'll go places that have salad bars and she brings my plant-based dressing with me. But I don't know what reasons people fall off the plan, but what you need to do, when I've spoken with people who have like signed up for my personal guided plan, the 90-day boot camp, and there's still probably about 50% of the people who join that, who I'm doing video calls with and everything, who drop off of it. So it's very important to find your motivation. And I ask every single one of them, what is your motivation? And one of the things I ask before that, I say, are you scared? And every one of them has said, yeah, I'm scared. So I say, well, what is your motivation to to do this. And probably what I hear the most is, well, I don't want to die. Well, that's not a good enough reason for motivation. I mean, none of us want to die, but it's funny how after a couple weeks or a couple months, that thought of dying kind of starts to fade away, and we tend to fall back into our routine. So my motivation, and I spoke about this in several of my videos, my motivation was I wanted to be here for my family. I did not want to leave my family. I wanted to see my baby grandson grow up. And something else, just a couple weeks ago, now I have a new baby granddaughter, and her name is Gemma Sol Latier. Hippie name, but she's a cute little girl. So I kind of have always taken care of my family, and I want to continue to take care of them for as long as I could. And that was my motivation. And I want to be able to see those grandkids grow up. Some of your motivation, I mean, you may have dropped off a couple of daughters at college recently, and you want to watch them graduate, and you want to watch them walk down the aisle. This is not going to happen if you don't get your plan together. Start doing what you know you need to do. Start exercising. Does it hurt a little? Yeah, it hurts still to this day. I mean, my cardio is in excellent shape for a 54-year-old man, and it hurts for about 5 minutes. But once the initial pain is gone, you just kind of push through it. And now, I mean, the pain lasts me probably 5 or 10 minutes when I first start exercising, and it's gone. In the beginning, it was there for a little bit. I didn't stop. I kept going. If you keep going, it's going to pay off. You need to be eating what you know you should be eating and sticking with the plan. And many of us have very supportive spouses, which make it even easier. And my wife was very supportive. She was so supportive. She was a little overweight at the time that I was diagnosed, but she was so supportive that she said she would make me my plant-based foods, and she would go to the gym with me, but she would be eating the plant-based foods too and working out too. And I said, you don't have to do this. And she said, no, it's okay. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too. So she was my chubby buddy. And some have spouses who are more motivated than we are. And that's very, very unfortunate, because we can't force someone with kidney disease and diabetes and high blood pressure to do the right thing. They have to want to do it. They've got to make up their mind that they are going to do it. They have to keep their motivation in mind at all times. And still to this day, my motivation is at the forefront of my thoughts at all times. Anytime I start looking at a burger or something like that, or something I know that I shouldn't eat, you think to yourself, are you just cheating on yourself? No, you're not. You're cheating on your family too, your grandkids, your children, your wife or your husband. So think of your family too. Now, I want to, something that I've heard a lot of, I was just talking about your doctor or your dietitian telling you things. So one of the things that they tell you is chronic kidney disease is not reversible, it's not curable. The kidneys only get worse once you have chronic kidney disease. And I beg to differ, and hundreds of other people in my Facebook group beg to differ. don't believe what the medical community tells you, and do not give up. The medical community benefits from you giving up and from believing their hype. If you give up, they make money. You're going to keep having to go to the doctor, you're going to start dialysis, they all make money. The medical community isn't about healing anymore. At one time it was, now it's about money. And you know, a few months ago, a friend of mine who is an MD, he's a neurosurgeon, I was talking to him, and he had seen my blood labs when I was first diagnosed. But anyway, he was talking to me, and I was showing him my newest labs and everything, and he said, "Glenn, if you would have asked me a year ago where you would be today, I would have said either on dialysis or dead. But look at what you've done." And he actually said I cracked the kidney code. I don't know if I've cracked a kidney code, because I don't think I did anything that anyone else is not capable of doing. So I mean, there's nothing special about me. I found and identified my motivation, and as I said, I kept it in the forefront of my mind at all times. And anytime that I started to feel weak or started to feel like I was going to give up, I thought about what my motivation was. Excuse me. And the motivation is so important, and also the exercise is very important too, especially if you have got diabetes and high blood pressure. And it's amazing the number of people who have got kidney disease that have got diabetes or high blood pressure or both. There's almost always an underlying comorbidity. So by taking care of these comorbidities, we're taking care of kidney disease also. And I want to mention the Facebook group again. I'm going to post a link to the Facebook group in the description of this video down here. And in that video group, in that Facebook group, you're going to see more reasons not to believe what the medical community tells you about there being no medical cure. And as long as I'm saying that, let me tell you something that the fifth nephrologist, the last one I saw, told me. So at my visit in March with the nephrologist, when they told me I no longer had kidney disease, he said, "Do you have any questions?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "So the doctors have all told me that their kidney disease is not medically reversible. There's no medical cure for it. There's no medication that improves it or cures it." And he said, "Yeah, that's right." And I said, "That being the case, how was I able to do this?" And he looked me right in the eye and he said, "Oh, what you did was not medical." So that there is something that I've been thinking about a lot, even with different illnesses and diseases and everything that they say are not medically curable. Is there another cure for it? Can we cure ourselves by being healthy? So in the Facebook group, you're going to see many people who are improving or healing themselves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new post today in the group. It's been a couple months since I've done this, and I'm going to ask for people who have been doing the plan for at least 90 days to post their results. Those of you who haven't been doing the plan for at least 90 days, don't post on this particular post. I'll create another post where you can write your experiences on that. But it's just very motivational for myself and others to be able to go in and see the improvement. And I want all of you to know, not just those of you in the Facebook group, but those of you who are just watching the videos and haven't joined the group, that you are important to me. Even though I don't know you, I am praying for you. I'm praying for your health, your recovery. I know that we're all looking for something, either for ourselves or for a family member. And feel free to reach out to me through email. My email is glenjl69@gmail.com. That's spelled GLENNJL69@gmail.com. And I typically get back to you reasonably quickly, unless I'm having a really, really busy day. Then it could be the next day. But I want to thank all of you for watching my video, and be sure to go back and watch my other videos, and especially the 1 hour and 4 minute video. And that one there is actually a requirement for joining the Facebook group. You're asked if you watched that video when you join the group. But once again, thanks for watching the video. Sorry it's been a little bit. Go ahead and ask all of your questions in the comment section, and I will answer them in the next video. Once again, thanks for watching.